pleasant good evening and welcome to SAT TV's Channel 9 Evening News. I am Nisha Charles.
And I am Desmond Joseph.
And we are your presenters for the evening. Thank you for joining us. Among the major developments, $50,000 donated to Excellence in Education Awards.
U.S. cautions Bahamas over accelerating ties with Venezuela.
South Africa vows clampdown on mining unrest. And
in sports, final preliminary round matches over the 2012 Maxroy Trading Southern Cricket League to bowl off this weekend.
Details of these and other stories after the break.
Support local, support SAT Telecommunications Limited, the people's choice. Join hands with us. Come and sign up for your digital TV connection today. We got the sharpest, cleanest, brightest digital TV connection. No antiquated analog service, only pure digital and many new packages coming soon. With latest in sports, movies, children programming and much more. So if you have your flat screen TV and you want to see quality TV, join now. Sign up today for your digital television. Support local, support SAT Telecommunications Limited, the people's choice.
Do you know what problems you have in your body? Well, we have wonderful news for you. The iridology test. The iris reveals your health, and through a picture of your eye, the iridologist can see all the problems that you have and you didn't know they were in you. Maybe you feel fatigue, tiredness, pains, migraines, heart problems, and many other ailments. Well, through this test and his prescriptions with exclusive natural products from Colombia, your health will have an improvement with amazing results. Trust me, 100% natural products. It's also associated with the most experienced natural store in Colombia. Remember, more than 30 years of experience in Colombia. We have the iridology test.
Thank you for staying with us. Now for the details of the news. Persons were invited to the open campus to register for the Sir Frank Warrior Blood Donor Drive on September 14. Ms. Kumon Joseph, who represents the UE Open Campus, says the Princess Margaret Hospital is conducting the screening process and will later inform the participants if their blood is needed.
The project is part of the University of the West Indies' effort to bring awareness about blood donation. Sir Frank Worrell, whom the entire drive and registration is named after, was a pioneer and a champion at the University of the West Indies.
The University of the West Indies has named its annual blood drive after Sir Frank Worrell because he was the first person to donate blood to the then Indian captain Mr. Nari Contractor, who was seriously injured in a practice match. The blood drive is important because there is a need for more Dominicans to volunteer blood.
We need more people to volunteer to be blood donors because it is much more effective if people volunteer and are willing to come forward than we wait until there's a desperate situation when we actually need blood. It is better because people are more willing to give accurate information than if they are desperate and really need to save a family's life, for example, and they feel like they must say maybe untruths in order to be able to donate that blood that is needed.
They are encouraging people to donate freely and voluntarily come to register. Acting Lab Superintendent at the Princess Margaret Hospital, Mr. Walter Jones says their objective is to develop a pool of volunteer blood donors.
It has been proven from research that you get better quality of blood if people do it of their own accord rather than being forced or being bribed. So this is what is happening there, and we're very happy for the support that we're getting from faith-based organizations and social clubs like the UE School of Continuing Studies in helping us to develop this core of.
They want to make sure that they always have blood and that the blood is from persons who are reliable and there is no controversy in the process of donating blood.
Young persons are being urged to join a community service club in order to help themselves while giving back to the community to bridge in the gap in that aspect. This message came from Lion Claudius Tony Boncamper, MJF, District Governor of Sub-District 60B of the Lions Club International, who is currently in Dominica on an official visit to the Lions, local Lions and Leons for the dual purpose of auditing of the two clubs and celebration of the Dominica Leos Club's 18th anniversary. Mr. Van Camper says the world has changed drastically to the point where people do not socialize the old-fashioned way, which is sad.
We have lost touch with reality very often. The world of today is an electronic world. It's not a world of people anymore. We don't shake each other's hand. We BB each other. We WhatsApp each other. We've lost touch with society. We've lost touch with our morals. So our social and moral values have taken a serious plunge. And when that happens, humanity changes, cultures change, people change. And it's so important that we don't lose the touch of humanity. Otherwise, we're going to lose the touch that we used to serve people with.
He added throughout the Caribbean, many young men have fallen beside the street, and it is important that service clubs go out and help these to be positive people. Mr. Van Camper pointed out it is important that young people join such clubs as the Rotary, the Lions and the Kiwanis Club, since they relate better to their peers, which is important in influencing those who do the positive things in life.
And the more youngsters you have on board that have the intent to help, the genuine intent to help. It's not a social club. It's not a club that we only party on Friday nights. Don't join for that reason. Join for a genuine reason that you want to help your fellow man. And you can help in so many ways. It's not always the financial way alone. There are very many humanitarian ways that we put beside ourselves. And it's a message that we have also told churches. Open your doors, not only for the ceremonies and for worship, but open it so that we can use it as a school and put youngsters in there that have no place else to go. So you see, there are different ways that we can help each other within the community, within a partnership. But for the youngsters, it's so important that they get back to the roots of their social and moral values.
He says that young people need to unite since violence does and will not benefit them in any way. He added that what we need is to love one another like we all did before, but we must first love ourselves before we can love anyone. During his visit here, Mr. Van Camper will meet with the government officials such as Education Minister Honorable Peter St. Jean, Minister for Youth, Culture and Sports Honorable Justina Charles, and the President Dr. Nicholas J. O. Liverpool.
We have certain programs at the International that we would love for the government of Dominica to look into. And one of those programs is what we call the Lions Quest. The Lions Quest is a program specifically designed to give back life skills to troubled youngsters. You can do it in the schools and you can do it after school. So I think the easiest one is the after school activity, because you don't have to go and change up all your laws and your curriculum in schools and so. But it is the intention that we ask them to look at it. 12 million youngsters right now in all geographical areas, but it started in the rough areas like Los Angeles, or Chicago, or New York, or Detroit, where the Bloods and Crips ruled the streets. But today Lions Quest is taking back those streets, and we're getting a lot of youngsters that get back their basic skills and the love for life to make a better human being out of them.
Mr. Van Camper says that this program has been working very well and it is currently being implemented in St. Lucia, Jamaica, St. Martin and soon in Antigua. He says he's of the hope that at the end of talks with the government officials that this program will also be implemented in Dominica, which will significantly benefit the unemployed youth.
There are international grants that Lions International will grant you in your country if you want to do these programs. They will send down their people to train your teachers. So it isn't as if there's going to be a big cost at the side of government. What we want from government is the commitment to continue the program, because it's not a 3-week program, it's a 3-year program. So, you know, there has to be a commitment on the other side that we can follow through. And those are the type of things we want to really talk to them about.
Mr. Van Camper also mentioned the Lions Club has an international program called RAP, Reading in Action Program, which is the pet project of the international president. It came about as his home country, the United States of America, and has 26 million Americans who cannot read. Though every country has their faults, what they try to do as a club is help where help is needed and assist in those while building skills where skills are needed. District 60B comprises of 61 Lions and Leo clubs from the Cayman Islands to the north to Grenada in the south of the Caribbean Sea.
And in more local news, the United Workers' Party, UWP, stated at a public meeting held on Monday, September 10th, that the parish of St. Joseph has the highest level of poverty. However, parliamentary representative Mr. Kilva Daru thinks otherwise.
Well, I've had an opportunity to look at the Country Poverty Assessment Report, which was carried out since 2007, and the report came out in 2009. And it's very interesting to know that from the report there were a number of concerns and issues that were raised from the report, particularly as it relates to poverty in certain constituencies or communities. The report did indicate that the parish of St. Joseph, not the community of St. Joseph, but the parish of St. Joseph, was at that point in time, based on the number of persons who were interviewed and the information that they received from these persons, the report produced that the high level of incidences of poverty within the parish of St. Joseph.
The parish says that he has had his doubts about the report carried out, and he finds this statement rather interesting since St. Joseph consists of a lot of professional people.
St. Joseph has 2 primary schools, a preschool, secondary school. St. Joseph also has a Type 1 health center, which is the most used health center in the entire district. Police station also exists in St. Joseph, as well as a branch of the Fire and Ambulance Services. St. Joseph is also known for its wide range of sports personalities.
Mr. Daru mentioned that the UWP held a meeting in St. Joseph earlier this year. In addition, when they wanted to host fundraising events, out of all villages they chose St. Joseph also.
To go even further, when the United Workers' Party wanted to raise funds for the court cases and so forth, they did not go to Salisbury, they did not go to Marigot, but they chose to come to St. Joseph to hold a fundraising activity. So if they're saying that St. Joseph is the worst of community, why would they come to St. Joseph to raise their funds and for the court cases? But of course, because St. Joseph continued to remain steadfast, and I think what this has done, in fact, it has encouraged us to continue to be.
Mr. Conrad Shillingford says he strongly disagrees with this statement and this is a political gimmick.
I'm Conrad Shillingford. You could call me Oprah, better known as OK Oprah. I would not say St. Joseph have the highest poverty in Dominica. I mean, listen to this statement from the opposition. I mean, it's a political gimmick. I would say that the opposition is using St. Joseph in part of the political gimmick. So St. Joseph is not the highest poverty. I have the highest poverty. A lot of people in St. Joseph, they are working. So we don't have the highest poverty in Dominica.
Mr. Shillingford says that he would like to know what the United Workers' Party thinks is poverty.
What I would like to know, what is poverty? What is poverty from the United Workers' Party? From Edison James and Hector John. What is poverty? Because we stayed 5 years on the United Workers' Party, and the same way it is the villages, the same way the villages up to now. So the United Workers' Party cannot use and say St. Joseph have the highest poverty in Dominica, because during the time of UWP, we had people without jobs in the community, in the constituencies of St. Joseph. And St. Joseph, and I saw the report, and the report did not say that the village of St. Joseph. The report said the parish of St. Joseph.
He believes that the opposition wants to take over St. Joseph and somehow turn the residents of St. Joseph against their power.
I think the opposition wants to win St. Joseph, and they have to come better. And even though the opposition wins St. Joseph, they cannot take St. Joseph. They say St. Joseph is in poverty. But if in case the opposition happen to win St. Joseph, what are they going to do to move St. Joseph from poverty? And I don't think there is nothing they can do if they say St. Joseph is poor.
The National Bank of Dominica, NBD, has contributed $50,000 to the Ministry of Education in collaboration with the NBD's Excellence in Education Awards 2012. The check was presented to the Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Mrs. Marcella Powell, at the launching on Friday, September 14th. Chief Education Officer Mr. Stevenson Hyacinth says previously there has been 2 separate awards, one for the principals and one for the teachers, but this year it has been combined. At the ceremony, they will recognize excellent principals and teachers who have brought about dramatic improvement in the school and classroom during the last academic year.
principals and teachers have shown that although dramatic changes can be made towards students' improvement, it is challenging. It is challenging, but it can be done. And it can be done by excellent principals and committed and devoted teachers. As we supervise and monitor the process of teaching and learning at our schools, we interact with principals and teachers who recognize themselves as agents of change.
He hopes that the awards will serve to inspire principals and students to ensure that they do their best in everything they do. The Chief Education Officer says this can be a reality if all of us adopt the view that we need to improve on the quality of teaching. The National Bank of Dominica, NBD, has been a partner with the ministry since its inception. Ms. Amanda Scotland, who represents NBD, says at NBD they rely on teachers to ensure that we have the best workforce, to create innovative products and services, and to create a human resource that is a valuable asset to our businesses in Dominica.
A great teacher can leave a lasting impression and impact on someone's life. And I commend the Ministry of Education for their commitment and hardworking staff, who I will be in contact with for the next few weeks, to ensure that the Excellence in Teaching Awards is successful and actually comes to life, for recognizing that we have great teachers here in Dominica.
The Ministry of Education continues to reiterate its commitment to quality teaching in the classroom, which they hope will lead to a generation of students who will leave the school system equipped with strong knowledge and skills to become better citizens. Mrs. Marcella Powell, Acting Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Education, thanks the NBD for the continued support in this initiative.
Do not doubt that we are very appreciative of your decision to come on board to assist us in recognizing our educators who give of their very best to the development of this country's human resource. Your generous contribution speaks highly, not only of your commitment to the social development of Dominica, but more specifically of your interest in education and its role in national advancement.
The St. Mary's Academy made a short performance. Here is a clip of the action. The MOE NBD Excellence in Education Awards will be held at the Iraq House of Culture on October 4th, 2012.
And in more local news, manager of Chantilly Promotions, Ms. Chantal Raphael, is bringing the UK flavor to Dominica. As of today, Ms. Raphael will be hosting First Class Fridays at Salmon Gardens every Friday from 7 p.m. onwards. When asked where the idea originated from, Ms. Raphael explained that this is not the first time that she has been involved in such events. She mentioned that she moved to Dominica 6 months ago because she strongly believes that Dominica needs a nightlife as well as a different flavor in terms of entertainment.
I've done promotions before. I think you can tell by the accent that I'm from the UK. And so I've moved over to Dominica in the last 6 months, and I just wanted to carry on with the promotional side of things. Okay, also Chantilly, that's what my family used to call me when I was smaller, and it just carried on from there basically, so that's where the name originates from.
Ms. Raphael says she is trying to create a night scene by hosting forms of entertainment such as nightclubs, happy hour, among others, and also foreign artists will be flying in to create that unique flavor.
Okay, at the moment I'm doing nightclub promotions in and around Dominica, bringing in artists and bands. We're also able to provide staff for any events that companies are having. Say for instance you're launching a new brand or you've got a new service coming out, I can actually provide staff for you like brand ambassadors, hosts, waitresses and bar staff.
She believes this is beneficial to Dominica in terms of creating employment. Ms. Raphael goes into further details.
Okay, obviously the unemployment level is quite high over here. We will be employing young and old people to help with, hosting events for different companies. So I think it will help the job market over here anyway. Basically, with the promotion side of it, we're just trying to provide good nights out with good food for people, you know, who want to enjoy themselves, and you know, it's not going to be too expensive for you to come along and have a nice time. With the recruitment side of it, it's just to help the younger people know that there's still, you know, a chance for them to be out there working, doing something that they can be confident about. And you know, still giving older people the opportunity to carry on working as well if they are skilled in that certain profession.
Ms. Raphael says so far she has received a lot of support here, although it was easier in the UK. However, she urges Dominicans to take part in this event, therefore they can experience something different.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Mrs. Helen Royer, says Dominicans must and need to do all in their power to reduce the instances of vector-borne diseases in addition to the Ministry of Health's efforts.
This initiative by the Ministry of Health emphasizes the importance which it places on the prevention of vector-borne diseases, which are a major contributor to the total global burden of disease and a significant impediment of a country's socio-economic development. Dominica is no exception, since the Ministry of Health continues to spend significant resources for the prevention, reduction, and treatment of vector-borne diseases and to foster behavior change among the population.
Mrs. Royer says in a report published by the World Health Organization, WHO, it is estimated that disease vectors is responsible for 17% for the global disease burden. She added, current estimates show that there may be more than 50 million dengue cases each year, while over 2.5 billion people are at risk for dengue cases annually. Malaria is estimated to be the cause of 250 to 600 million cases of the disease, which results in over 1 million deaths each year.
In the United States, the Centers for Disease Control reports as of September 4, 2012, stated that between 1993, cases of West Nile virus with 87 deaths occurring so far. These staggering statistics are a cause of concern, especially for us here in Dominica, since we possess all the characteristics which could facilitate the transmission of these vector-borne diseases. We are a tropical country with very high rainfall. The vectors which transmit these diseases are present, and in some cases, their presence can be overwhelming. Dominica's vulnerability to these diseases has been proven with outbreaks of dengue fever occurring in 2007, 2008, and 2010. In 2010, there were 12 cases of leptospirosis also, a disease which has reminded us of its deadly consequences if not adequately controlled.
The Permanent Secretary of Health pointed out that the Ministry of Health is spearheading a trial of approaches which aims to control, prevent, and treat diseases to ensure the safety of the Dominican population. One of these approaches is the proposal of a 25% reduction in communicable diseases to healthy public policy, health promotion, and disease surveillance strategies by 2019. Mrs. Royer says that mechanisms have and are being put in place to ensure that these objectives are met as the government spends significant funds annually to ensure disease vectors are monitored and reduced.
While this approach has had some form of success, there needs to be an even greater integration which would incorporate all sectors working together to reduce the disease burden. Although vector control has proven to effectively control vectors and diseases which they transmit, the full benefits have yet to be realized. The guiding principle, therefore, is that effective control is not the sole principle of the health sector, but requires collaboration with various sectors, including private and public.
The Permanent Secretary of Health mentioned that there is a need to develop a national capacity for evidence-based decision-making to increase the efficiency in control measures. Mrs. Royer said that many sectors, including agriculture, construction, and communities, are each aware of their roles and consequences of their actions on the incidence of vector-borne diseases.
The strides which the country has made in successfully reducing infectious diseases are being threatened by social and natural phenomena, including climate change. Planning, therefore, is very essential. The challenges posed by these phenomena must not be forgotten during the process. The health impact should not be underestimated, but should provide a backdrop against which an integrated plan must be developed and implemented. The health of the people of Dominica is an important resource for the socio-economic development of the country, and therefore the Ministry of Health, and by extension the government of Dominica, will give all the support necessary for the implementation of this approach, since there are tremendous benefits which are expected to be derived.
She also added a small developing vulnerable country such as Dominica, there is a need to strengthen the systems which will result in the control of vectors and diseases which they cause. This has been the local segment of the news.